From devastating river cards to crushing coolers, these are the most insane bad beats in World Series of Poker history. These aren't just unlucky hands, they're the kind of soul-destroying defeats that haunt players forever and remind us why poker can be the most brutal game on Earth. A royal flush hits once in about every 650,000 hands, so when you're holding quads and there's a royal draw on the board, you'd think you're still safe, right?
Fires back with a raise.
Has Justin Phillips bet the shirt off his back?
Action on Mabuchi. He's all in.
I call. All in call, table
Phillips
one.
turns over a royal flush.
Royal flush.
Mabuchi, quad aces.
You gotta be kidding me. Quad aces, your last hand of the main event.
What a way to hit the rail.
There's nothing more ultimate than that.
That is a statistical improbability, my friends.
What a horrible river card for you.
If you flop a set of aces, river quads, and lose, that's a bad beat.
And Mabuchi does stumble out of the main event.
That was insane. Some hands you play badly, and others you truly just get destroyed by monsters. But what would you have done in this next position?
Who needs the last ace in the deck to take this pot? And there is just a call.
1 hour into the main event, Vanessa Selps faces a massive cooler.
So action on Selps first.
Here's the crazy thing. If she bets and Bowman moves in, she's not going to insta-call. She's going to think about it with aces
This
full.
is just a cooler moment. 50,000 behind. And wow. Oh, that's exactly the reaction we expected.
Are you serious right now? Let me see which cards, which suits I have. Ace-7 of cards is a thing. Ace-7 of diamonds is not a thing. Wow. This might be a quick main event for me. I don't know if I'm good enough to fold this. What do you think I have?
Flush.
I don't have a flush. I'm gonna need a lot of time. I'm sorry. Ace-7 of hearts. I mean, Ace-7 of hearts. Would you shove with Ace-7 of hearts? If you'd shove with Ace-7 of hearts, then I'd have to. All right, you could have Ace-7 of hearts, I guess. So I got to call. You have quads? Yeah. I almost folded.
I'm not sure if even Daniel Negreanu would be able to let go of that hand, and this next beat is going to leave you questioning if poker is even a skill game.
Queen, 10, deuce, 2 spades here. Besh ahead, potential trouble brewing for him as Seidel flops both a pair and a flush draw. Seidel betting 50K. Besh ahead makes the call, and a spade hits on the turn. Eric Seidel makes his flush, and unfortunately for Besh ahead, he also hits a flush. Besh ahead also gets the action check to him. Donnie, Seidel is setting this up perfectly.
Yeah, this is likely going to be a big payday for Seidel.
Besh ahead, as you can see on the screen, not drawing dead. The 8 of spades would give him a straight flush. Seidel giving it some thought. Donnie, what sort of sizing are we looking at here? Lots of options here for Seidel, of course.
Here we go.
450.
450 is the raise. Now, if you're Besh ahead here, oh, and he moves all in right away. Seidel with the call, and Besh ahead drawing to one card, and if he hits it, we're about to go viral on the internet because that would mean he hits a straight flush.
8 of spade.
1 out. It is a live out. 8 of spades still left in the deck. Seidel with a bit of a smile here, knowing he's 1 card away from a massive double up.
He doesn't want to talk about it right now.
Besh ahead doing the prepay. Eric Seidel looking for a big double up river card. He's the 8 of spades! It's a straight flush! And Eric Seidel is eliminated.
Oh my!
1 outer on the river. The Poker Hall of Famer.
Are you serious?
What is going on?
That's insane.
That is disgusting.
Wow.
Some bad beats hurt your bankroll, but this next one cuts much deeper. You're about to see a hand so devastating that it literally broke a player's heart right there at the table.
And he is going to raise it. 575,000. Now to Matt Affleck with pocket aces.
Hello, pocket aces. You go, Matt.
I think if he makes the final table, he might wear a Seattle Mariners tuxedo, Norman. And Matt on the button with a re-raise to $1,550,000. Small blind folds over to Dewey Lay in the big blind. And Dewey folds. So now back to Duhamel.
With tricky pocket jacks.
Raise.
And he says re-raise himself to just over $3.9 million.
Duhamel's interest is peaked. And Affleck could 5-bet it here, even go all in.
Matt Affleck with 2 aces against the pocket jacks of Duhamel. And Matt just with the call.
Well, Affleck is out-chipped by Duhamel, and he'd like to get as many of those chips as possible.
2 of the top 5 stacks see a flop of 10-9-7. Affleck still good with his aces. Duhamel picks up a gut shot. And he checks. Affleck.
Matt moves deliberately, but decisively.
With the aces. And Duhamel, a very interested observer. That's $5 million from Matt.
Affleck hoping Duhamel has a big pocket pair because he'll get at least 5 million more chips here.
Matt's buddies looking a little nervous on the sidelines.
Duhamel's gonna call. And you know, if those chips fall over, someone's gotta yell Jenga.
Well, he does make the call. Over 18 million in the middle.
Big pot now, and we could have a big change in the pecking order.
Turn card is a queen of diamonds. Duhamel now with an up and down straight draw. Matt's ace is still good, though.
Yeah, that card line gives Duhamel more outs if he thinks he's up against a big pair or a set.
Duhamel checks again.
Affleck in his familiar pose.
He says all in for 11.6 million. So now back to Duhamel with the jacks and the up and down straight draw.
A huge decision for Duhamel. He's not getting the right price to call, and he'd be left with just over 8 million chips if he loses. He's got to believe Matt wouldn't push here with anything less than aces, kings, or a set, no?
Duhamel thinking very seriously about this and makes the call.
10s and 9s.
Kings, right?
I'm shocked by the call line. Look at the pot. Affleck on the brink of becoming the huge chip leader. Duhamel, if he gets lucky, would be an overwhelming chip leader.
So Affleck way ahead, 1 card away from putting a huge hurt on Duhamel. Everyone on pins and needles here at the Rio. This will be the biggest river card of the tournament.
Yeah, a defining moment here late at this main event, Lon. Jonathan Duhamel just wants to disappear inside that hood if he could. Matt Affleck is going to have 41 million chips or no chips. He needs to dodge a king, jack, or 8.
The river card. Oh, it's an 8! A crushing blow to Matt Affleck. Duhamel hit his card and eliminates young Matt Affleck.
He's got to be heartbroken.
Affleck thunderstruck.
Last year, the blow-up, and he finished 80th. This year, the bad beat, and he finishes 15th.
Affleck so close to the prize. He had overcome some earlier setbacks only to fight back and become a major factor again, but now he's gone.
In back-to-back years, he comes so far, gets so close, and leaves so crushed.
He was one card from all but locking up a seat at the final table, but now Matt Affleck's main event dream is shattered. All his chips go to Duhamel, who now has over $50 million.
It's as if he's in shock. It's as if he can't leave.
Matt Affleck will try once again to deal with the realization of a dream gone amiss, and gets a well-deserved round of applause from the crowd here in the Rio Poker Room as he finally makes his way to the exit. One man's bounty is another man's demise.
A delayed, understandable outburst from Matt.
Matt Affleck knocked out in stunning fashion yet again.
Heartbreaking moments like that remind us poker shows no mercy to anyone. Not even the pros are immune, as you'll see in this next hand that left a world-class player stunned.
Phil Ivey always loves pocket pairs.
He'll call it. Next in line is Jason Lester. Ivey with the lead with the 2 9s. Well, Lester with a couple of 10s. And at least before the flop, you figure he's going to stick around, and he indeed does call that.
We have 3 players in the spot.
Nobody else wants any action, and so we're going to get the flop now. Moneymaker, Ivey, and Lester in the hand. The flop comes 2 queens.
A monster flop for Chris Moneymaker, who makes 3 queens and becomes a prohibitive favorite.
Jason Lester checks, so the action to Moneymaker, you have to figure he's going to push things right now. And he does with 70,000.
I thought he might have pushed it more. Generally, you make a bigger bet there and you push out the competition. We always like to say better to win a small pot than lose a large pot. He's almost inviting calls right there with the 70,000. A big favorite in the hand.
Well, Phil Ivey is indeed going to take that bait, and he'll call it.
Yeah, Phil Ivey will call, and I guess for the 70,000 he'll call. He is well behind in the hand, doesn't know it. Jason Lester actually has a better hand than Phil Ivey right now. He decides he's going to stay out of harm's way. He doesn't want to get any trouble at this point. The next person knocked out doesn't make the final table, so Jason Lester.
Here comes the turn in. It's a 9, and that gives Phil Ivey a full house.
Miracle on 4th Street for Phil Ivey, who now has the full house and the better hand.
But nobody knows it here except Phil Ivey.
And there's no reason for Moneymaker to assume that Ivey had the pocket 9s. So he's going to bet 200,000. Understandably, he just can't think he has that type of hand to beat him. He's got to believe the 3 queens are best right now. And Phil Ivey deciding what he's going to do, he's obviously going to play. And if and when he wins this sizable pot, Phil Ivey will put himself in terrific chip position for the final day.
He is all in.
And quickly called.
The pot size is 1 million now.
Yeah, Moneymaker is disgusted. He never could have assumed the 2 9s in the hole for Phil Ivey. And now he is going to need an ace, a queen, or a 6 on the river to win the hand, which would knock out Phil Ivey.
Moneymaker's looking for an ace on the river. Or another queen. Here we go. We see one more card. It's an ace!
An ace!
An incredible knockout blow for probably the best player left in the tournament, who's gone down.
Oh, amazing. Phil Ivey loses with a full house to a better full house of Chris Moneymaker.
This next hand is pure chaos. A complete emotional roller coaster that will have you on the edge of your seat. Just when you think you know how it's going to end, the cards have other plans.
And he makes the call here. Jarvis with pocket 9s.
He says the sunglasses allow him to get into his own zone. When the shades are on, he's fearless.
Come on.
Jarvis going for it all in for just over 14 million. And that brings his dad, Norm Jarvis, to his feet.
Jarvis has about 23 big blinds left.
Condio in the small blind with 8-6 off. He will not play that. Jason Sentai now with the short stack, Queen Jack. And he folds. So the raise back to Duhamel. No thank you.
How much more is that?
It's for more than half of Mizrachi's stack. Does Grinder want to take that much of a risk on ace-queen, chasing player of the year, chasing history, and chasing $9 million?
A critical moment for Ms. Rocky, who needs almost $13 million to call.
I call.
And he does make that call. Jarvis now at risk, but a lot on the line for the Grinder as well.
Good luck, guys.
And now Matt Jarvis's hope of becoming the first Canadian main event champion hangs in the balance.
Matt Jarvis ahead right now. His family hoping he can extend his main event stay. Jarvis at risk. Now here's the flop. Queen, a queen! Ms. Rocky flops trip queens.
And Grinder shoves Matt Jarvis towards the exit.
Matt's family is stunned. He seems to be taking it well. All right, the turn card. Oh, and there's the 9! 9's full for Jarvis!
What a turn of events!
Oh my goodness!
Where else but the main event can you find such a wave of changing emotion? Grinder now on the verge of becoming the short stack. Matt Jarvis all but gone. Looks like he's going to stick around.
Norm Jarvis hoping Matt can fade disaster on the river.
Small card. Such a world, such a final table sweat.
Grinder would need an
Small
ace,
card.
queen, or 8 to knock out Matt Jarvis.
It's an ace!
Oh, mama!
No way!
It's not possible, is it?
And the roller coaster ride comes to an end for Jarvis.
What was an almost certain double up is now an 8th place finish. Dad cannot believe it. Grinder getting absolutely swarmed by his friends and family.
Think those beats were brutal? This next hand comes down to literally one card in the entire deck, a 2% chance to win.
So with 6-5, they go into the muck. Elon Schwartz, I think he's taking that vacation early. He's still hibernating. Ace tray of diamonds for Montgomery.
Montgomery is short stacked.
All in.
And all in.
Montgomery's going to give the lone ace another try. He had little choice this time.
I have a count.
Dimmadov folded.
6 million and change.
Eastgate with the pocket pair.
I call.
Makes the call to put Scott Montgomery at risk. Montgomery needs to come from way back. He's hoping he catches something, as do his supporters. The Danes love it, though.
Any aces or diamonds in this deck? Come on.
Well, I threw a 6 away if it helps.
Well, it means he's not going to flop quad sixes, so I'm happy with that.
So Montgomery at risk, needs help to stay alive. Here's the flop, and there's the help. He hits his ace.
Looks like he's going to stay alive. Huge flop for Scott Montgomery.
Now you're glad I had a 6.
Now it's going to make it even uglier when the 6 comes on the river.
I think it was the black 6. I think it was the 6 of clubs.
So I need a king of diamonds for him to be drawing dead on the river?
Yeah.
Turn cards, another ace, and all but closes out this hand.
Scott Montgomery poised to double up. Peter Eastgate doesn't seem to mind.
6 0 times.
Only the 6 of diamonds would end Scott Montgomery's main event.
All right, now the river card. Oh!